Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040. Your go-to tax relief.
Looking to get some keys made, locks rekeyed, or a wide variety of new and used safe? Then look no further than the trusted choice of Alfred Safe & Lock. Conveniently located off of Government Street in Mid-City, Baton Rouge. Trust the expert locksmith at Alfred for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial lock and safe needs. Trusted by Baton Rouge and me, Roger Cador, to protect what is yours since 1946.
Some Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge. Some don't. The ones that do know BTR is all about being closer, more convenient, with non-stops and short hops to anywhere their business takes them. They also know not flying BTR means more traffic, longer lines, and wasted time. So if it's about going from driveway to runway with a lot less highway, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. It's about time.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Clarence Muggs along with the coach at Scoreboards, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Baton Rouge's newest sports grill. Welcome back, Coach.
It's good to be back.
Got to say a very special thank you right out of the gate to Kate Adams. Did her usual outstanding job.
She did a good job. I got to see the replay. And Kate, you are a risk taker. I love it.
That's what we love about you, Kate. All right, LSU capping off their perfect season with a big win over Clemson. What does a win like this mean for a program across the board, Coach?
Well, it means so much for the school first, the players and the coaching staff and their families. But it also means a lot for the city and the state. There are a lot of good things will come up there. There are many more opportunities. The alumni are going to give more money to LSU. Yeah. They can ask the people with the deep pockets for more money. And there are just so many benefits when you win the national championship. Now, the key is they want you to win it again next year. Coach O, they want you to do it.
As we continue this conversation talking about LSU, we'll ask the guys in the truck if they'll be so kind as to roll the highlights. Of course, now, winning a national championship also means everybody wants a piece of what you got going on. Joe Brady, Dave Aranda, both been siphoned off by other programs, college and pro. But I guess the good news, if there is such a thing, is that winning a national championship makes it easier for you to get other top-notch coaches, does it not?
It should be easier. And let's face it, every team starts out the season wanting to be the national champion.
Oh, yeah.
We also know that there are probably only a handful of them with the capability to do it. And LSU, which was probably to their advantage, no one considered them that early in the year.
Right.
They had to knock off 7 top 10 teams and 4 in the top 5 to get there.
The team itself also hit with a number of guys declaring for the draft. Grant Delpit, Patrick Queen, Jacob Phillips, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Justin Jefferson, Lloyd Cushenberry, Shadiq Charles, Calebon Chason, Thaddeus Moss. But you can't hold that against these guys, can you?
No, you can't, especially in this rugged game of football where injuries play such a prominent part of whether or not a kid want to come back or go forward.
Yeah. And quite frankly, with the season that many of them had, you kind of rolling the dice to think that you could put up better numbers and improve your draft stock at this point, correct?
Oh yeah, that's the truth. See, one thing about the way this thing works, there are only certain position players going to improve their stock. Usually it's the quarterback that could do it, or defensive lineman, offensive lineman, defensive back. Those are the premium positions that the NFL is looking for.
Patrick Queen, an especially inspiring story. From Livonia, Louisiana, small town in your neck of the woods, Point Capee. Just goes to show you, it's not where you're from, It's where you're willing to make the sacrifice to go.
Well, I was looking at a special on Johnny Bench from Bender, Oklahoma.
Wow.
692 people.
Wow.
So it certainly doesn't matter where you come from. It's certainly where you're going.
The championship parade was really something to behold. You got to tip your hat to LSU and the city of Baton Rouge for a job well done.
Well, when you win, it's easy to put on.
Great point.
It's easy to put it on. Minds come together, and then they put on such a great event.
Do you think we'll ever see another season like 2019? And how hard was it now in retrospect to achieve what this team accomplished?
Well, you know, the question asked, would you ever see one? Probably not, but you could see something similar. Going undefeated to win a national championship is tough in today's world.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can have a one-loss season and win a national championship, and then down the road, we'll hope for that somebody in the city will win again.
Well, I've got it on pretty good authority. Somebody from this city is going to win it again. We'll talk about that after the show. When we come back, we move ahead to segment 2 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
Clarence talked to a higher power somewhere. You got it.
Break out of the chaos.
Hi folks, Clarence Buggs here. Coach Roger Cador would take the time to tell you how to catch our brand new show, The Roger Cador Show, but as you can see, he's kind of busy right now out at scoreboards. Baton Rouge's newest sports grill with food that is absolutely amazing. Catch the show 8 o'clock Tuesday nights, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesdays, and on Pelican Television's YouTube channel as well. You want to come out and have a great time. It's awesome, isn't it, Coach? Told you.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Beep, beep.
Welcome back for segment 2 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show, coming to you from Scoreboards, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Baton Rouge's newest sports grill. Coach, let's shift gears. The LSU basketball team, 13-4, undefeated, by the way, in the SEC. Kind of looks like Will Wade has weathered the storm.
Well, in the beginning of the year he has, and the thing is he lost a lot of good players.
Yes.
So, you know, they're really doing a good job thus far. I saw the end of that Ole Miss game, and I like the chemistry that they had. So the key is now how they play in the paint with the big guys. Are they able to stop teams from getting cheap baskets? And then are they able to play good team defense?
When you mentioned the talent that was lost on this team, conventional wisdom says this shows that you can coach when you're able to do this at this point in the season. You got to know what you're doing, having lost all that talent.
Well, it's not just coaching, it's also talent. I mean, you know, he's got May, who's playing extremely well. And so I think in order to coach, you need to have something to coach.
Right.
And it starts with players.
Yeah.
So Wade is doing a good job with the players he's got, coaching them up, getting them to play within the system.
Is that one of the, for him, greatest strengths, and in coaching in general, one of the most important aspects of coaching, being able to get the young men to buy into what you're selling?
If you're going to be successful, you have to do it. You can't have them out there playing for themselves.
Right.
It's all for the letter on the front of the jersey or the school or the name. So if you could get them to play for that name, it makes it quite easier.
Meanwhile, the Lady Tigers knocked off number 11 Kentucky on Sunday, their third top 15 win of the season. Looks like Coach Nikki Vargas has the ladies believing as well.
Well, they need to come back. They've struggled the last 2 or 3 years, so this is a big season for them. And they need to make that run, prove that they're a legitimate top 10 team.
We have some highlights as we shift gears in this segment. Again, one of our favorite people on the whole planet, Dee Bro, has her number 7 ranked gymnastics team undefeated at 3-0. She never stops working hard, does she?
And never stops smiling. She's a, well, look at Dee. There you are.
Good point.
She never gets old. Dee, you're the very best. And her young ladies have done a tremendous job. Look at the energy. Whoa, she nailed it.
Wow. Is Coach Bro one of those, quote, we'll never see someone stay at one school that long again kind of person?
Well, you don't know. You don't ever want to say never.
Right.
But it's going to be a rarity that someone stays 40-some years at a school. They don't do that anymore because of the amount of money and opportunity. And then you get into the millennium. They stay 3-4 years and they gone.
But, you know, I look back over the years in my broadcast career, I covered the likes of Eddie Robinson, who was so proud when he would say 50 years, one school, one job, one wife. I covered folks like W.C. Gordon, longtime head coach at Jackson State University. And, of course, yourself, longtime fixture, skipper of the baseball program at Southern. Why don't we see more of that anymore?
Because the money and just people don't stay there because loyalty doesn't have the same value it once did. And people just want to move, Clarence. They want to just do something different in another place.
So how did you do it? All those many decades, coaching a program that was obviously near and dear to your heart. How many times over the years did Roger Cador say, you know what, this is my last hurrah?
Well, it never was like that. I was stuck here. I really was stuck here. I was stuck here because of promises I made to parents and their kids. And my word has been my bond, and it was the strongest thing I ever had going for me. What's my word?
Yeah, another one of those outdated concepts, right? A man's word is his bond.
Yeah, and that's really what I had. And when it got to a point, I wasn't really going to leave because, you know, I had invested all of this time into what we had going on. And, you know, the one thing that kept me was the last big thing I did was getting the clubhouse built.
Right.
I had waited 16 years, raised money twice for that building, and I couldn't leave until it was done because that was a major accomplishment.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Southern, the Jaguars return home this weekend, putting their 3-3 conference record on the line against Alabama State. Sure would be nice to have a big crowd in the mini-dome, wouldn't it?
Good luck, but they, you know, I wish they would come out. Support the young coaches and the team more than anything. I'm going to say it one more time, as I always said. Southern belongs to the community. You can't go trade it or sell it and buy someone else. So let's support them because they really deserve it.
When we come back, we move ahead to segment 3 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
Looking to get some keys made, locks rekeyed, or a wide variety of new and used safe? Then look no further than the trusted choice of Alfred Safe & Lock. Conveniently located off of Government Street in Mid-City, Baton Rouge. Trust the expert locksmith at Alfred for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial lock and safe needs. Trusted by Baton Rouge and me, Roger Cador, to protect what is yours since 1946.
Break out of the chaos.
Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Mandeville at 985-722-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Mandeville at 985-722-1040. Your go-to tax relief.
Welcome back to segment 3 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Clarence Buggs along with the coach at Scoreboards, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Coach, let's talk pro sports a bit. Professional baseball rocked last week when news broke of a cheating scandal. Black eye for the game, or everybody does it and these guys just got caught?
Well, I don't know if everybody does it technology-wise. Everybody does it when they're stealing the sign from the dugout that's being relayed on the field.
Right.
I mean, that has always been a part of baseball.
Right.
And it's accepted. Because if you can't figure out a way to decoy your sign, they're going to steal it because they're trying to win the game. Now, when you start talking about using technology, that's a whole new ball game. I think that is cheating in the level that can't be accepted.
Now, understanding that we are in the age of technology, is it unrealistic to think that at some point it was not going to bleed over just like it's done in everything else in life? I mean, we've witnessed a generation go from no phones to party lines to now a computer that you can talk to anybody on the world, get information on anything at any time, anywhere on the planet. Was it kind of unrealistic to think that it was going to happen sooner or later?
Well, Clarence, I'm glad you mentioned it in that respect. Baseball is hiring all young people from Ivy League schools, and they call it whatever they call it, the game now. It's not about what you know, it's all about they put stuff in the computer.
Right.
And they don't know nothing else other than that. They don't know what the mom and pop phone was. All they know is technology.
Yeah, good point.
So that's part of the problem. If you're going to have technology to be an integral part of the game, you are going to expect that this is going to happen.
Now, you and I have talked many times over the years about what part we, the win-at-all-cost fans, play in this. But isn't the old saying, character is what you do when nobody's watching? Isn't that supposed to be supreme? Or has that, like a lot of other things, become a relic from a bygone era?
It's probably from a bygone era, but that phrase about you are what you are when no one is watching, that doesn't matter.
Wow.
People want to win.
Anymore.
Not anymore. They want to win, Clarence, and it's a shame that it's gotten to that end. The commissioner is trying to send a strong message to try and stop it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But everywhere you go, you got cameras.
Right. Right.
You can't go anywhere without cameras.
In the NFL, different subject. Couple of incidents recently that, quote, looked bad. The optics just weren't good. Let's start with former LSU Tiger Odell Beckham publicly handing out cash to some members of the national championship team, and then allegedly slapping the butt of an NOPD officer who was trying to get an LSU player to stop smoking a cigar in the locker room. What was Odell thinking?
Out of control. I see something with Odell like this Brown, Antonio Brown. Something ain't right here.
Right.
Where's self-respect? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, I saw Beckman hit the cop on the backside. Those are the kind of things you ought to not have. How could he not know you shouldn't be giving money to players openly on the sideline? How could you not know that?
And I guess, again, speaking of a bygone era, even if his rationale was totally honest, saying, this is my way of saying, all right, guys, about to get paid, which we all know they are getting ready to do. But whatever happened to the concept of stopping a minute, thinking about it, and if there can be any negative ramifications to the team or the kids, is something you do in private. Do it in the locker room instead of on a national television audience.
That's what I said. Why would he do it when he knows those cameras are looking? I mean, but that's the only way you can get the stuff to go put on social media.
Yeah, good
That's
point.
all that's about.
Great point.
To me, that's what else could it have been other than for social media?
Great point. Meanwhile, Kansas City wide receiver Tyreek Hill, pregame introduction in this weekend's playoff game, did what Odell Beckham was fined $12 grand for by the NFL, dropping to his knees and imitating a dog urinating on the field. Guys being guys or disrespecting the fans in the game?
Disrespecting the fan. This have no place.
No
place, that kind of action. We are supposed to be highly intelligent and know how to act in public.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many more ways you can express yourself.
Right.
And be dignified by doing it.
Now, I gotta ask. Roger Cador's in the dugout, skipper at Southern. Young man launches one over the field. Trots around the bases. Right before he gets it home, he stops, drops to his knees, and does what Tyreek Hill did.
He's killing me.
How does Roger Cador deal with that young man?
I'm going to faint if it happens. I can't take it. I don't know, Clarence. I wouldn't be coaching long, maybe. Don't ask me to do it again.
You got an honest answer. He probably would not be coaching too much longer. When we get back, we'll wrap up this week's edition of the No Longer Coaching Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
I'm glad I'm not coaching. Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Some Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge. Some don't. The ones that do know BTR is all about being closer, more convenient, with non-stops and short hops to anywhere their business takes them. They also know not flying BTR means more traffic, longer lines, and wasted time. So if it's about going from driveway to runway with a lot less highway, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. It's about time.
Hi folks, Clarence Buggs here. Coach Roger Cador would take the time to tell you how to catch our brand new show, The Roger Cador Show, but as you can see, he's kind of busy right now out at scoreboards. Baton Rouge's newest sports grill with food that is absolutely amazing. Catch the show 8 o'clock Tuesday nights, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesdays and on Pelican Television's YouTube channel as well. You want to come out and have a great time. It's awesome, isn't it, Coach?
Mm-hmm.
Told you.
Final segment of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Coach, who do you like in the Super Bowl, Chiefs or 49ers?
I like the Chiefs, but I think the 49ers got the defense that will stop them.
There's a little special connection with the Kansas City Chiefs and a 50-year-old turnaround, for lack of a better phrase, right?
Yeah, it started with Lloyd C. Wells, who was the first full-time African-American scout. And Lamar Hunt and Hank Stram hired him to go scout the historical black colleges. What did he give them? Buck Buchanan, Willie Lanier,
wow.
Otis Taylor, Emmett Thomas,
wow.
all of those guys, and help them to win that first national championship. And Lloyd Wells in 1973 tried to sign me to be my agent. And I didn't do it.
Oh, Coach.
Oh, my goodness. He came to Baton Rouge. We getting off the plane coming from Phoenix, Arizona, and he was there waiting for me. And I turned it down. That's a part of history.
Wow. There was, speaking of history and all these Hall of Famers that you just so easily rattled off. Former Southern Jaguar Harold Carmichael announced last week that he will be inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2020. Quite an honor, isn't it?
Quite an honor. Harold and I played basketball together.
That's right.
at Southern.
That's right.
So he's my ex-teammate, and I want to say kudos to you, Harold, better known as Stokely Carmichael.
Uh-huh. You know, you think back to the days when I was just a wee lad, watching the likes of Jubilee Dunbar, Isaiah Bush Robertson, people like Harold Carmichael. Are those, quote, glory days for HBCUs gone forever?
No, I would think they are. In our lifetime, there have to be a great transformation and for them to come back. And with the amount of money that is being dangled at the higher level of football,
right,
with people, we don't have the money at the HBCUs
right,
to get better and do what they're doing. And it takes money to be able to compete at a big level or a high level in the NCAA.
Yeah. There will be, speaking of the NFL in the Super Bowl, 5 former LSU Tigers, 2 other Louisiana University products playing in this year's Super Bowl. Once again, it really says a lot about the caliber of athlete turned out in this little bitty state of Louisiana.
Or a state that's probably 4 million people, they have the highest number of players per capita in the NFL, so it says a lot about the athletes in this state.
Going back quickly to the Tyreek Hill, Odell Beckham situation, what, if anything, can the NFL do to limit that type of negative publicity? Or, since you're dealing with human beings, no matter what you do, there's always going to be 1 or 2.
But Clarence, you're asking me to give you an answer to a question nobody can answer. If they had the answer, they would have stopped it.
If it was that easy, everybody would do it, right?
Or they would stop them.
Yeah.
They can't stop them right now. I mean, you know, you can't put them out the league because that would be a civil rights issue.
Yeah.
You fine them, that's the best you can do right now.
Yeah, and $12,000 to the likes of an Odell Beckham, that's like you and I finding change in between the sofa cushions at home. On behalf of the coach and the crew, I'm Clarence Buggs. We'll look forward to being with you next week with another edition of the Roger Cador Show. We'll see you then.